It has been said that training is an important input of human resource development. Let me elaborate this little more. We have human resources not homogeneous but largely heterogeneous. We are born differently, we think differently, we plan differently, we act differently. The main reason for this difference is partly genetic and partly circumstantial or environmental. There are men and women who are born under circumstances which are not very conducive to their normal upkeep or normal growth, evolution and development under normal circumstances. They are born of normal biological parents, but they may not have access to educational opportunity at the school going age. They may not have access to various other opportunities such as health, hygiene, sanitation, immunization and various other inputs which contribute to holistic or integrated development of human resources. These human beings are not responsible for such a sorry state of affairs. These are on account of imponderables which are beyond their control. They are not well endowed for circumstances which are beyond their control. In sharp contrast with this, there are human beings who are well endowed, who are born of normal biological parents and who have access to education, health, nutrition, sanitation, immunization as any other normal human being. They are born, they live and they grow in circumstances or in an environment which is conducive to normal, holistic and integrated development. This is what accounts for heterogeneity of human beings, and it is this heterogeneity which is responsible for large number of human beings being below the poverty line, being below the normal levels of health, nutrition, literacy and education, and human beings who are above those normal levels. One of the important functions of training is to impart information, yet another function of training is to impart skills. In other words, imparting of information and imparting of skills could be said to be the two major functions of training. What are the informations which are required to be imparted to human beings? Such informations need to be imparted which are of interest and relevance to a particular category of population in a particular situation. Such informations could be in relation to their own strength and weaknesses, vis-a-vis the strength and weaknesses of the forces which surround their lives. Such information could be in relation to the need for universal literacy, free compulsory universal primary and elementary education, the need for health for all, the need for immunization for all, the need for sanitation for all and so on. Such information could, if imparted in a proper manner, in an effective manner, in a communicative and participative manner, contribute to the empowerment of human beings. The second important aspect of training is to impart skills. What are these skills? Such skills could be of various types or categories such as life skills, communication skills, survival skills, vocational skills, entrepreneurial skills, managerial skills, supervisory skills and such skills which go to make a complete human being in all respects. It is not as if that an individual does not have any skills. An individual certainly has the hands, the fingers, the brain, the capacity to think, to reflect, to analyze and to introspect, but an individual may not have access to all the skills which could make him a complete human being, such as the vocational skills which are relevant to a particular human being for a proper remunerative earning at a particular age. And we have a large cross section of population in this country who are largely unskilled or semi-skilled, partly on account of the fact that they did not have opportunity of access to such vocational education or such vocational skill training of their choice at a particular age. Skill training needs to be conceptualized and designed in a manner which makes sense to the lives of such individuals, and for this purpose we need to design a proper curriculum, a proper course content, a proper set of textual materials. Such materials need to be well illustrated, and the illustration should be easily intelligible to the target groups, and they should be of relevance to their day to day life situations. It is only when the curriculum, the course content and the textual materials are designed in a real lifelike situation, they make lot of sense to the lives of the people who are in need of such skills. Every such curriculum, course content and textual materials need to be pre-tested by the same target groups for whom they are to be used. If the feedback is positive and if it is observed that they are found largely receptive by the target audience, we could perhaps bring them back to a workshop and give a concrete shape or final shape before their adoption. Imparting of information and imparting of skills are two important functions of training. There could be a number of other important objectives as well. We have a set of target groups who are otherwise intelligent, knowledgeable, who have already access to the world of some information, some communication, some modernization, some innovation and some skills, but they are in need of upgradation of such skills. After some time, such skills may turn out to be obsolescent and they need to be replaced by a set of new skills. There may be need for combination of skills which we call multi-skilling, which is relevant in a particular situation. Combination of skills or multi-skills or multi-skilling help in converting a half being to a full being. Multi-skilling contributes substantially to the empowerment of an individual in more ways than one. There are other target groups such as instructors, supervisors, resource persons, key resource persons who are also in need of such orientation and training. The curriculum, the course content, textual materials for such categories of people or target groups will naturally be quite different from what they are in relation to those who do not have the elementary access to the world of information and skills. In relation to such instructors or supervisors or resource persons or key resource persons, we need entirely a different strategy and methodology of training. We need entirely a new set of curriculum, course content and textual materials, because they are in a fairly advanced stage of access to information and access to skills. There are such target groups who have been very well placed in life, who have been occupying lot of vantage points in life, but they may not have that close an interface with the target groups such as their students in ITIs, in polytechnics and in various other technical training institutions as they need to have. One of the important objectives of such training is to provide this interface. In other words, we simulate a real classroom like situation where we demonstrate what should be the actual methodology of teaching. Methodology of teaching which could be participative, which could be communicative, which could be telling and effective. Yet another important aspect of training is the evaluation of the impact of training on the minds of the target groups and the extent to which they are able to use such training in their real life situations after they leave the classroom. For this purpose, we need to be in a close and constant touch with the target groups either through correspondence or through personal contacts or through field visits, so that we get an opportunity to hear them and know from them as to what extent they have been able to make use of the training which was imparted to them some time back. Such evaluation is extremely useful, and it is also desirable without ensuring proper, adequate and effective utilization of the training which was imparted. Much of that is imparted could turn out to be either infructuous or unproductive. Yet another important aspect of training is to find out as to what extent after training we have succeeded in imparting the art of communication. In other words, to what extent a person who has been trained is able to communicate a set of messages which are socially or economically or culturally relevant for a set of target groups with total ease or effortlessness as is expected of any person to be an effective communicator. This always does not happen. We are often clouded by lot of fads, taboos, obscurantist ideas, false aura of consciousness, and we also have our own natural biological deficiencies which do not go to make us effective communicators. So, one of the important aspects of training is to impart this art of communication, the extent to which each one of us should be able to communicate with our peer groups and with others in a natural, spontaneous and effortless manner. So, these are some of the important aspects of training, and they are of interest and relevance to training in any situation, be they meant for target groups who are totally ignorant and illiterate, be they meant for target groups who have some access to information and skills, but not adequate or not complete, be they for such target groups who are well placed in life, who have access or sufficient access at a fairly advanced stage to the world of information, communication, modernization, innovation and skills, and yet it is necessary and desirable to bring them through training with the target groups whom they are supposed to train, so that an interface is created, and this interactivity goes to make them first rate communicators or effective communicators of informations and skills.